Welcome to Lifestyle by SK, where wine, cigars, and relationships create that tapestry of extraordinary experience. I want to take a look at a couple of videos here about this Tuskegee University's new dress code policy that President Mark A. Brown put out. Let's take a look at the video, and then we'll come back with our commentary. Let's see what she has to say.
Just called me asking about the Tuskegee dress code situation, and she only specifically mentioned the bonnets and do-rags, and I was confused. I was like, them only picking up the bonnets and do-rags at a HBCU was a little bit odd, but turns out they said no pajamas, slippers, bonnets, do-rags, revealing clothing to class, I believe the cafeteria, and maybe a few other places on campus. And I'm an HBCU grad myself, Hampton University class of 2023, and I'm going to get more serious than this when it comes to dress code. I used to purposely disguise myself to go to the cafeteria on Wednesdays so I didn't have to be in business pro just to go eat lunch. So when it comes to the outrage, I'm a little bit confused because where did it come from? One, are the kids wearing the bonnets and do-rags pajamas to class right now, maybe during summer school? Were they doing it last year? Were they already planning on doing it? And people are deflecting, saying there's other issues on campus. Okay, we can talk about both of those at the same time because time and place is a very important part of getting an education and becoming an adult in this world that can go into professional or careers or go down a certain path. Why are we upset they said don't wear your inside clothes outside? And baby, I will get my mail like this, but it gets to a point. Revealing clothing, babe, put some jeans and a t-shirt on from your class that's from 5 to 6, go to your dorm room and put in your crop top and your booty shorts and take your swig of whatever your big gave you, and that's the time for the revealing clothing. Why y'all pressed to wear that type of stuff to class? There's plenty of opportunities to wear outside of class. You only in class 15 hours a week. And in terms of change, like, baby, I was at Hampton underneath the thumb of William R. Harvey the first 3 years. And then it changed to what the new guy, I forgot. He was cool, though. So I saw changes actively be happening throughout all my 4 years. Hampton don't play. They said, we don't like this. We're going to say something about it. So when it comes to the dress code situation, all y'all on social media, freshmen, whoever that's a little bit upset and prickly about it, hold off. Because they're not going to listen to you if you're on social media. They don't care. Y'all still paying the bills. And whether or not y'all follow it, they got their money. And it's in terms of going to class, okay, don't go to class. It gets to a point. But if you actually want to make something shake, get on that campus, join some orgs, find some older people, older students that are in organizations that can actually make the change, SGA, caucuses, Mr. and Miss, whatever it is, that can actually do something about it and go do something about it. But sitting here on social media with your mama and your daddy upset and all these creators, that's not going to change anything. We also want to change the HBCU cultures. Like, I've seen it change, but this social media on here doing, like, that's not going to do it. I say all this to say, like, if there's other things that actually need to be fixed on the campus, go and do it. And you got to have on a full shirt and some appropriate pants and your hair presentable enough to do it, then go do it like that, y'all. Like, this is a battle that's not worth fighting for real right now. Like, y'all ain't got it to wear bonnets and do rags and inside.
So this is some pretty good points that she is making here, because when you look at it overall, people, especially the younger people now going into the university now, there is so many different things that you have to be concerned about that has to do with your education that's more important than the bonnets and do-rags. But president or school president of Tuskegee, Mark A. Brown, I think that he made a very strategic and very good decision to help move the university forward in terms of how the students dress. I think that it is a very good move, because we need to make sure that our youth are showing up at these universities, not only getting their education, but also people, they are dressed to impress. You never know that there could be future philanthropists or donors that could be having campus tours, and the last thing that they need to see, which they should not see at all, is a bunch of students running around with very house shoes on, pajama pants on, half torn up shirts, bonnets, and do-rags. And exactly that this young lady said right here, she said that she does this or wears this stuff in her dorm room. She goes back to her place of residence and she puts on her bonnet. She puts on her comfortable attire, and she wear that there or out and away from campus. And that is how it should be done. She even said that she wouldn't even walk to the mailbox like this. But yet you have people who still wear what she had on in this video to class. And this is definitely a shout out to the content creator of the video, Lanice Jr. So her information is there, and I'll put it back up on the screen so that you can definitely give credit to where credit is due. So this was off of TikTok, it looks like here. And one of the students, it looks like somebody posted a comment on hers and said, I worked a career fair at HBCU, and it was way too many students coming to the fair from class with bonnets and pajamas on. And let me pull that up full scale so you all can see the screen, because I think this is very important that we see this, because we have to be mindful, people, of what we're doing. But let's take a look at some of the comments here, because these are going to be extremely important for us to see this here. Let's see, let's move this over here. So let's go ahead and zoom in on these here, on at least just some of the comments. But she said that a lot of the students from class in pajamas and bonnets. Imagine the impression that you left. You have to always be ready so you don't have to get ready. And so she made another good point that if you don't like what's going on, join the student union. Join the Student Government Association, the SGA, instead of putting all the energy on TikTok and Instagram to try and get your point across. Think about this. This is a whole other different angle that we need to be looking at this, because this is changing the way how people are viewing us, you all. This is changing. This is changing. This is changing how the way that people are viewing us. And a lot of you may think that it is not fair, that somebody's picking on you and all of that. But we have to be mindful of what we're wearing when we're going out. And for those of you who are at a HBCU, had this came out at a predominantly white institution, a PWI, like a school like Arizona State or wherever the case may be, non-black, but a school that was majority white, if they came out with something like this, it would be even more outrage online, and black folks most definitely feel targeted. However, you have a black collegiate president of an HBCU that is telling you that they have seen this time and time again and they are tired of it. And I'm so glad that they were able to send the letters to the parents' house to let them know, don't bring these kids up here in these pajamas and getting out this car on the first day being on the college campus with bonnets and do-rags and house slippers on coming to school. And they're lucky that they didn't do what Hampton University did with her in terms of making them wear the full uniform. So they're getting off pretty easy. But you are in corporate, when you get out there in corporate America, you wouldn't show up for work like this. And so what they're trying to teach you is have some dignity about yourself. Pay attention to the way that you dress when you go out in public. You have to always be ready. Young ladies, who's to say there's a young man that could be looking at you and he could think that you are one way and you're completely different, but your dress code made him think a completely different way. To the fellas out there could be a young lady out there who could be having her eye on you, and she may see you walk across campus in pajamas, and she would never think twice about letting you even say anything to her. Imagine if you all are walking with your parents across campus and you see a young lady or a young woman walking out like they just woke up out of bed. Would you be embarrassed? And then you wonder why, at other universities, if somebody would have had a policy like this or said something to you, you will be acting a completely different way. Because this is a problem. This is a problem. And there's another comment on here by another young lady, and she said, as a Tuskegee graduate, the outrage is because it was on social media. The policy has always been in place forever and a day. I don't believe there was an explicit reason as to why it was made public or why so many people feel like they need to write articles and think of pieces about it. The outrage, ridiculous, and unnecessary. So the people who are likely probably graduates definitely wouldn't see a problem with it. But we should take pride in how we dress because people, here's the reality. Sometimes HBCUs get a negative light turned towards them. But this is an opportunity to control and change the narrative so that when you have future students going to the university, that they know ahead of time that when they go to not only a HBCU, it's a lot of history that is there. It's class. It is prestige. It is excellence, black excellence. And maybe social media did take it too far out of context, possibly. Because I haven't heard about anything about, I would never have even thought about anything like this now. I just see too many bonnets and do-rags out in the general public. But imagine seeing this so much on campus that it becomes a problem. So it would most definitely probably be the younger people who this is their first time coming to school having this problem. So thank goodness that the president was able to reach out to the parents and let the parents know this is not going here. And I'm going to be honest with you, it's going to end up hitting other universities. This could be a very good policy to put in place for other HBCUs out there, just so that way that they're on notice and they know if you plan on attending a historically black college and university, there's going to be some rules. We got to get some standards, and I'm glad that the standards are being placed at the HBCUs first, so that way by the time it make it to other campuses and other universities across the U.S., that we'll already be mentally ready for that. Because we got some big problems here, and we want to make sure that we are putting our youth in the best limelight. So people, let me know what you all think about the video. Like, listen, subscribe to the channel. Lifestyle by SK, where wine, cigars, relationships create that tape of extraordinary experience. Look forward to bringing more content to you soon.